So here's an honest review of the Culinary Management program of Centennial College. I started my program on January 2020,
And when did you graduate?
April 2021. It's roughly 17,000 for 2 semester for 1 year, Canadian dollars. Centennial College Culinary Management program was really well made. It has a combination of theoretical classes and lab classes. Because I was only able to attend in-person classes for 1 semester, there's not really much to say, but during those times, we had roughly 3 subjects that we were able to experience actual cooking, which was really amazing. And all the chefs were so supportive and they were really good at teaching the students on how to actually do certain skills, and they gave a lot of tips for us to be able to do our tasks well. So I think because I was able to study culinary back home in the Philippines, I could actually say that the lab classes here at Centennial College is a bit better than what I had experienced back home in the Philippines, because the ingredients and all the kitchen tools are complete and everything is well organized, and the kitchen labs tools, cooking tools, and all the equipments are complete and everything. So I would say that the course is really good. So during our first day, during our orientation, we were told that we are gonna be provided with our own knife sets, safety shoes, and uniform. Like everything is included in our tuition fee, which is supposed to be because it's so expensive. So during our orientation, after the orientation, we were able to get our uniforms. And then after a few days, the representative from the partner companies of Centennial Colleges came to school, and that's when we were able to get our knife sets and our safety shoes. So aside from the laboratory class, we had some theoretical classes and some subjects that are not related to culinary. It's a typical classroom setup wherein the teacher would actually have a PowerPoint presentation, and we will be required to get some books for us to be able to do some activities, which is a little bit expensive, but we don't have a choice because we have to buy the books for us to be able to answer the online quizzes, because they also try to make the lecture lively and interactive by incorporating some group activities such as Kahoot and other group in class activities. But there are a lot of projects that needs to be done in groups, and the worst thing about it is that you have to be paired or like grouped with the people that you don't actually know. It's kind of hard, but you really have to do it, because what they say is that when you go to the real world, or when you start working, you won't be able to choose your workmates. So it's the same thing as you won't be able to choose your group mates for a school project. For the laboratory classes, there's no homeworks and quizzes. Everything is done in class because you have to cook, and the professor, the chef, will grade the final output of your cooking right after the class. So for cooking lab classes, you are graded every single session. But for the in classes, theoretical classes and elective classes, I actually find the elective classes harder than the culinary management related classes, because I don't know, it's hard. If you study, it's actually not that hard. It's okay. It's not easy, but it's not crazy hard. So there's not really much difference. It's just that there are methods and ingredients that we use here that is not readily available in the Philippines. Yeah, and the equipments in our kitchen laboratories here are a lot more advanced or professional or heavy duty than the ones we had back home. I've studied culinary back in the Philippines last 2009, so I guess it's been a while, so maybe they upgraded the equipments in the Philippines too, so I don't know. But as of now, I find the culinary management course here a bit better than the one we have back home. But I really learned a lot from the culinary management course that I took back home, and without it, I wouldn't be able to have great background of culinary knowledge that made it easier for me to understand everything that I studied here in Canada. You know what? There's not really much that I disliked about the course during pre-pandemic, because I love the lab classes. The theoretical classes are good too. Overall, the course, the program is amazing. So, on top of my head, I can't think of anything that I didn't like about the course pre-pandemic. It's the same. 17,000 for 2 semesters. Well, first of all, I don't have to wake up too early to go to school, because most of my lab classes start at 7 a.m. before. So now I just have to wake up, turn on my laptop, and I'm already in class. Well, everything is more convenient in terms of not having to commute. I saved a lot of money by not eating outside and not taking the transportation. I also liked how flexible it was during pandemic, because we can study in our own time and answer all of the activities in our own time. So I think that's one of the best things that I liked about it. It gave me the flexibility to do the homeworks in my own time. So honestly, I don't think you can teach culinary subject online, because it's a skill that you have to be able to experience live for you to be able to learn how to do it. Like knife skills, the chefs or the professors can show you how to do certain knife skills live on video, but it's very different for you to be able to do it live on your own. So it was very challenging, because especially for those who didn't have any culinary backgrounds before, because it is one of the most essential things that they have to learn to be able to have a good career in the future. I mean, you can't practice knife skills or cooking while watching. So if you want to be able to do the dishes hands-on, the recipes personally, we have to buy our own ingredients and do it at home. And it's gonna cost us a lot if we're gonna do that every single subject. So not every one of us can afford to do that. So I think it's pretty hard to learn culinary online. But honestly, it was really tough. And I might have been able to learn more or acquired more knowledge if it was in-person class instead of online. Theoretical classes online, I think it's okay, because in person you would also just sit down and listen. So I think it's the same thing with with online class, in person and online class. I think learning during an online class is okay as long as the course or the subject doesn't require an in-person skill like cooking and something. So I think it's fine. It was fine. It was okay. It's just a little bit challenging to listen and focus, because I'm just at home and there's so many distractions around me. But if you will really try your best to focus, you'll be able to listen as if you're in a classroom. So it's okay. So because we weren't able to do in-person classes for the laboratory class, so every session we were required to do a reflection paper on what we've learned during that session. And how are we gonna able to apply this on our future career and skills and stuff. But for the other theoretical classes and elective classes, they were more lenient because of the pandemic, and they were more considerate. So we were able to do our quizzes in our own time compared to like in person, wherein all of you have to answer the exams on that very same day or same schedule. But online, we were able to like do it on our own time. Yeah, so it was more convenient to do online quizzes. But for group projects, it's a bit hard because it's hard to communicate with, especially if your group mates is the people that you don't know, because you have to communicate with them often. But some of them, if not most of them, is not willing to cooperate, or it's very hard to contact them to attend the online meetings or like Zoom meetings. They'll be like, oh, I'm at work, I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't attend the meeting. Yeah, it's easier in person because you can just do the projects right after the class, and you can just ask your group mates to give you 5-10 minutes of their time after the class for you to be able to do the group projects or group activities. But online, you have to set certain schedules, Zoom meetings or something like that, but most of them won't be available to attend, so it's harder than usual. But we were able to finish the course, so yeah. Of course, it's a lot better to learn the whole program in person, but we didn't have a choice because of the pandemic. But yeah, honestly, I didn't really like the online lab classes because there's a lot of things that we missed by doing that. Like, you will miss the opportunity to do the actual cooking, and I dislike the fact that I have to do the group projects and attend the classes and not see all my classmates. And that's one of the things that I wanted to experience here in Canada, is to be able to attend school with very diverse group of people. So I miss that opportunity to be able to connect with my classmates. Oh, it depends on your schedule. But as much as possible, I try to fit in a lot of classes on at least 3 days, 4 days, just so I will have extra 3 days wherein I could do my part-time work. But there is only approximately 6, 7, 8 subjects per week. So I can do at least 2, 3 subjects per day, and so that I'll be able to have my 3 days off. Because my internship or the will or like OJT training subject fell during the pandemic, wherein we weren't allowed by the school to do our training outside. So we did it online. So we just studied and like watched videos of our chefs and professors do the cooking and stuff. So we weren't actually able to experience our live training outside of school. So I can't really say much about it. But right now, one of our housemates told me that because she's still studying and it's her training or will, and they are now allowed by the school to do their training outside, so she's gonna do it outside, and I think that's a better experience for her. And yeah, so it's just a special case for us because of the pandemic that we weren't able to do our will outside. For the culinary management program, I would say that the program is best taken in person, of course, because in cooking you have to experience it for you to learn. But if your courses or your program can be done online, like business classes, marketing and stuff, I think it's okay to do it online. But of course, it's a very different learning experience if you do it in person. The setup and the environment is very different. So I am an old school person who believes that it's better to learn in person because the vibe is really different and the experience is much better. I think if I did the whole program in person, I would rate it, I don't know, 8.5, 9, because the chefs were really good. Everyone had a really great background in cooking, and they all had a great history of teaching. They also taught in different culinary schools in Canada, and they were amazing. And that first in-person semester that I had was very memorable. It was amazing. It was really great. Yeah, 8.5. But because of the pandemic, that I had to learn most of the program online. I knew that they tried their best for us to be able to learn everything online, but it's still, of course, different and harder. So I would say 7, 6.5, because I just believe that it's really better to like learn cooking in person. It's very different. So yeah. So I'm not sure if you learned anything about this video, but that's my honest review on Centennial College's Culinary Management program. I can't say that my review would be super helpful because I did my program online, so it's gonna be different if you do it in person. So yeah, but overall, Centennial College is a great school, a great college. Their culinary program is amazing if you do it in person. So yeah, I would recommend for students who want to learn culinary to take the culinary management program of Centennial College. So if this video helped you in any way, press the like button and make sure to subscribe on your way out and hit the notification button to what?
Not miss a video.
To not miss a video. So yeah, thank you. Bye.